started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. You know, provided you're trying your absolute
like
best.
a lack of care, because like
if
I told you, hey, meet me at this coffee shop tomorrow, I'm gonna give you $1 million, then I mean it. I'll show it to you right now. I'm gonna give this to you tomorrow at 9. You're gonna probably like prep your entire day around getting to that coffee shop at 9 o'clock. You're gonna go to bed early. You're gonna probably wake up 3 hours in advance just to check traffic. What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Podcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve. A lot of people that are actually making all these excuses about, needing different accommodations for disabilities they sort of made up. Obviously, there are real disabilities that are an issue, but something as bold as time blindness kind of seems to make me think that they're just kind of trolling at this point.
Yeah, I mean, nothing, that literally sounds made up.
Yeah.
It seems like the most convenient thing to say for anyone who just can't be on time.
Yeah, like she probably lives like 30 minutes from the job she's applying to, and she's like, I mean, I could use an extra 10 minutes like every day just to get in.
Yeah.
She's making excuses.
Like, I would assume real-time blindness means that you don't realize you're actually late. Like, does she come to work every day and just is like, wait, I was late? Like she's surprised about it?
I mean, I assume it's something similar to like CPT, where, like people are just generally, like, black folks generally just like an hour late to the event. You tell them 4 o'clock, they show up at 6.
Yeah, black people have been struggling with time blindness like for an entire legacy.
This is actually cultural appropriation when you think about it.
I'm offended, actually.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see the video, and then we'll determine whether or not this woman's a racist.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. Provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled. And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system? And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's
so stupid.
How dare you expect me to be on time?
Okay, all right, that's it.
So
Man, that is like the most absurd thing ever, because she's making it sound like she's like actually been like discriminated against.
Yeah.
I guess it was easy for me to be here. Why is she getting yelled at? She's a grown adult and she's interviewing for a job.
Well, no, it sounds like she's getting yelled at by like one of her friends or something. Not even like it sounds like someone's like, no, you're an idiot. Like basically, it's like if I was talking to Zoe, right? Zoe, you pretend to be her for a second, right?
Okay. Oh my God, I just can't be on time.
Shut up, you fucking idiot. I think it was more like that.
She's basically like, who is this guy to tell me some shit?
Yeah, the audacity.
Well, because the friend is right, because there are no accommodations
what
for
if they're
being
always
late.
on time but terrible at their job?
If they're always on time but terrible at their job, at least, well, they're gonna get. The thing is, you're gonna get fired either way. But I think the bare minimum ask is that you be on time for your job.
Yeah,
like come on, like you deal with this.
Yeah,
like,
no, I did. It's
people that aren't on time, they sort of fuck things up. Like imagine you have to like open a retail store or do anything like that, and someone's just not there. Now you have to do all of that stuff yourself.
It's like not fun out of 10.
Yeah, it's literally the bare minimum. Like you can be a mostly useless person, but as long as you're there, someone can find a way to get you to do something. You know what I'm saying? So like the idea and the concept of time blindness, there should be no accommodation for that, because it's literally just a matter of you like setting an alarm on your phone.
I think
what if she works a salaried position?
Well, that's different, because I think salaried people, they don't even like have to be on time all the time for the most part.
You do. You totally do.
You really do.
And stuff.
Oh, well, if she's salaried, then I don't know. It's the same thing. Come to work on time. Your job starts at 9 o'clock. Be there at 9.
The thing about time blindness that's absurd to me too is it's like
the phrase.
Yeah, the time blindness. I'm gonna use the technical term here.
Poorly managed time.
Yeah, but it's just like
temporal acuity or some shit.
Yeah, the thing to me is like, people who tend to really be bad with being punctual, it's never really about like, oh, it's too early. Because she's like, how can we accommodate for that? But it's like, I see people that tend to be really bad with being on time. It doesn't matter what time you give them. They'll always end up being late regardless. You can't be early or late enough because I think the way they think is usually like, oh, I have enough time to kind of like, fuck off until, basically it gets to crunch time. It's like someone who procrastinates doing an assignment at school. It's like their assignment couldn't be any shorter or less demanding. If you're a natural procrastinator, you're always going to push it back to the last moment. And then you're, going to either be late or you're not going to get it done. Same thing with her. I think, like, if she's always late, it probably was never an issue where it's like, oh, it's too early. It's just you just don't prep your time properly.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the time it's also got to do with, like, people don't actually care whether or not they show up on time. Like, especially with the CPT thing I was talking about earlier, like, parties, black, just black folk parties, probably Hispanic parties too. People just literally decide like I've even had conversations with people like my parents on the way to a party like Thanksgiving or something, like, oh yeah, they told us to be there at 4, so we'll probably pull up around 6:30, something like that. So it's like intentionally being very late because it doesn't really matter to us when we show up. So I think it's kind of the same thing for this girl. She's like, because I don't think there's any way for you to just, I just wasn't aware. I saw the clock, it said 6:30, but I just couldn't process that. I just couldn't. It didn't click to me that it was 6:30, so I decided to come in at 7.
Yeah, you're so much more angry than I thought it would.
I thought you had an easier way to say I don't care enough.
Yeah, like you just literally don't care, because I don't think that even someone with like really heavy, like heavily on the spectrum probably wouldn't have that issue. I feel like. Yeah. Like I feel like knowing what time it is, after seeing what time it is probably a very simple thing to actually realize.
Well, you learn it in like 2nd grade, right? 2nd and 3rd grade. So to me, I'm thinking like, oh, she has some sort of brain condition where her brain like actually cannot physically tell what time it is, or like you're supposed to have an internal like clock in a sense. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't.
I've known people that literally have lost their sense of time. Like, quite literally, due to just like immense drug abuse. Yeah. And they were so punctual, they were never late to work, ever. They had just so many alarms.
Yeah.
Some people don't even need alarms.
I was kind of like that. So I've had that situation before, but I don't think they're not aware of time. I think it's more so that they just like,
it passes really quick in their mind.
Yeah, it's like that makes sense. Like the time, because like you get like sort of in a especially if you're like getting high or something like that, or doing anything drug related, you may just like get high and forget you had something to do, and then like remember that you had something to do after that time has already passed. Or
this person was like sober for years after that, but before that, it was like so much drug abuse led to like this.
Yeah,
just like very calm, like seconds going by so quickly mentality.
That sounds awful.
I know, I thought the same thing, but like again, she was never late to work, so it's like interesting.
I generally just think it's like a lack of care, because like if I told you, hey, meet me at this coffee shop tomorrow, I'm gonna give you $1 million, and I mean it. I'll show it to you right now. I'm gonna give this to you tomorrow at 9. You're going to probably like prep your entire day around getting to that coffee shop at 9 o'clock. You're going to go to bed early. You're going to probably wake up 3 hours in advance just to check traffic. And then you're going to get there like an hour early to make sure you get that $1 million. Because you really care about that. Yeah, but if you have to like plan to go to the dentist tomorrow and you really don't want to go to the dentist, you're probably going to like drop it out of your mind. Think about like, man, I hope something comes up so I don't have to go to this. And then by like an hour before it's happening, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I gotta go to the dentist, and then because you really care.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what a lot of time management is. It's just like not really caring about it, and then natural procrastination. Just like, I'm just gonna put it off until the last minute, and then you just kind of hope that the urgency kicks in when time gets close, but it really rarely does.
I wish Roosevelt was here for this conversation, because he's like routinely doing this shit.
Yeah. Roosevelt's like the type of person
always does this. It's actually hilarious. Our good friend Rosie. Yeah, he'll be like, I'm on the way, bro, or I'm coming out. I'm about to slide over there, and then it'll be like a fucking hour later.
Yo,
and I'll call him, and he'll be like, I'm in rotation, bro.
Roosevelt's one of those people that says like, I'm on the way while he's in the shower.
Yeah, he'll be on the way like 2 hours ago, and then you call him.
It's so funny because like when I texted you, I'm on the way before I showed up today.
Yeah.
Like I was finishing a mission in Red Dead Redemption.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so you're the same as Roosevelt.
I was finishing the mission.
Yeah. He was
and
on
I was
way.
moving on a horse.
I was almost there.
He was on his way.
I was like on the way.
Well, you were close to being.
He was
on
mentally
the way,
preparing to become on the way.
Yeah.
As soon as I finished the mission, I paused it.
Are you sure you don't have time blindness?
No, I knew I was gonna show up late.
Well, this goes into what Alonzo is saying. Yeah. This is what Alonzo is saying.
You know what he's doing.
You have the actual definition of time blindness.
You told me we were gonna be set up by 5:30. I was like, I'm gonna show up there at 5:40.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
That's
we were
time
set up. But we were
management.
set up, but we were fucking getting these topics.
Yeah, but no, time blindness is
Perfect.
ridiculous. Cause I'm just like, anytime I've ever been late to something, I know before I even left that I was gonna be late.
Yeah,
you
pretty
can't
much.
be. Yeah, I wasn't blind to the idea I was gonna
Yeah.
be late. I knew 100% I was going to be late.
It wasn't a surprise to you.
Yeah, that's all. Like, you have to have some awareness of time to know I'm gonna be late.
Bro,
For
we
sure,
literally.
there are occasions where I'm like, oh no, hours went by.
Yeah.
But that's not like a physical ailment.
Usually it would
That's
be
just
asleep if
me
that happened.
being off- It's me being off the ball, man. It's me not caring enough. That's all it is.
I never went to work and was genuinely flabbergasted. Like, wait, I was late?
No way.
Now, as someone who like manages people, like if someone hit me with like a doctor's note, where like a doctor was like, this person's blind to time, like I would be so. I don't know what to
fucking
do at that
scenario
point.
was
I
hilarious.
really don't know what to do at that point. Like,
blind to time.
like,
Yeah, this
I
guy.
imagine
Yeah, the
people coming
doctor
up
has
to me.
certified it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yo, this person's always late. Like, what the hell? Like, I gotta."
Yeah, actually, it's like
proxy
you're like writing them up, like you're writing them up, you know, give them a red flag or whatever the fuck, and they're like, actually, I have a prescription for being
Yeah.
late.
I'd be
Just
lo-
hands you
I'd
the
be-
paper. It says 30 minutes. It
Yeah.
just says 30 minutes on the little prescription
I wouldn't
pad.
even know
Yeah.
what to say.
Yeah. I can imagine you get the paper, it's like good to go, it's crossed out, and it's written in pencil, time blindness is
Yeah.
checked.
Just crayon.
It's written in crayon.
Yeah, this
had this
employee
paper for
deserves an
years.
extra 30 minutes every day to get in.
Yeah.
Paid. All right. Well, I think we can close this one out, man. You guys all know that this is bullshit. This is just some Zoomer garbage.
It really
Yeah,
is.
just
Zoomer
making our
TikTok
generation look
garbage.
terrible.
What's a Zoomer? Is that the new?
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Is that the newest, like the youngest?
No,
kids
Gen
right now?
A would be the youngest, I think.
Yeah.
Gen Z is
Gen
like
A.
18.
They call them Zoomers to play on
18-ish,
boomers.
like 10 to 22 or some shit.
It's so weird how quickly
Currently.
it all moves.
Yeah, we were the ones. We were the Zoomers back in the day. We were the millennials. Remember how they were talking
I
so
don't
much
know if
shit
we were
about
the
millennials?
Zoomers.
Yeah, we were cool though.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
we
I'm
were
saying
cool,
but now
though.
everyone's shitting on Zoomers, but people were shitting on millennials back then too.
You ever
Like,
just
yeah,
feel
the
like
boomers
our
were
generation
lazy.
was a little just kind of neutral?
We really were.
It depends.
We're the last of the cool ones.
We just had a good balance of
Nonsense.
people on each side. Now you have like a real. Never mind.
About to lose all our fan base.
Yeah.
We're sorry, Zoomers.
Yeah.
Nah,
There's-
you guys are cool, man. We like TikTok.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Zoomers. I think there's some good ones out there. There's good people
Your
on both
generation's
sides.
just a little crazy. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some.
Quit
some
fence
actual
sitting, Steve.
boomers
Why don't you
that
pick a
like-
side?
Boomers,
I think there's
Zoomers,
good
all
and
that.
bad. It's
Well,
like,
no,
what
no,
a
no.
take.
I was
Pick a
making,
lane, bro.
I was actually making a Trump reference. No
No.
one even caught that. That was a Charlottesville fucking reference. There's
That's
good people
crazy.
on both sides.
Jesus, dude, that's like way too above my
That's
fucking
crazy.
pay grade.
You throw a
Whoa.
political reference in this room and like nobody caught it.
I'm like, nobody even caught that. Come on. That was when Trump. Well, for the record, Trump said that
That
about.
was from his 40th speech.
No, it was
His
when,
40
you know the
seconds
tiki
speech.
torches.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
what
yeah,
did you? What tiki
Oh, the
torches?
Vikings.
What the fuck? How do you guys not know the tiki torch
Viking
thing?
with the tiki
Charlottesville
torches?
riot
Yeah,
in like
I remember that.
2016.
White
Yeah.
supremacy.
2016.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that kind of sounds familiar now.
Right, the fucking gigantic viral thing when Trump won the election, and no, whatever. It does
Oh,
not
there's
matter.
one
Okay.
here, man.
Anyway, so thanks
Just
guys for
tune out
watching
with
this
that
episode of the
guy.
Cold Podcast. It's been fun, man. I don't know how long we've been going. I might be a little time blind, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and you enjoy the future ones as well.
It's only been 6 minutes, Steve.
Oh no, I've been stuck here. I feel like I've been sitting here for hours. I might have been infinite Tsukiyomi or some shit.
You're blind of time. You need to go to the doctor and get it out. Would you imagine bringing like a legitimate doctor's note to your like boss?
Yeah, that's
And like, what do you expect?
it's rough. Man.
Hopefully a raise.
Yeah.
It's just a fast track to the top.
Well, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been the Cold Podcast. We talked about time blindness, and make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms: Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you can find audio or video. Thanks for popping in, and we gotta pop out of here.
All right, peace.